What this really means is that gold is refusing to break down. Its intention at this very point in time is to continue working on the cup and handle formation. This is great news for silver investors. Matter of fact, this is amazing news for silver investors. All leading indicators are now supportive of the silver bull run we anticipate. If everything is lined up for something to happen, you might start taking it seriously, is what we conclude. Welcome back, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, so now let's talk silver. I have a question for you. Do you think that $500 silver is possible? Is it realistic? I mean, there's many people that are extremely bullish on silver. Robert Kiyosaki, the famous author of the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, who is very, very deep into silver, he predicts $500 silver. Now, I want to make this video because like I said yesterday, is a lot of variables that are pointing towards higher silver prices, and 2023 could be the breakout year. And here's another video. The next day, after I just talked about all these different factors that's looking like it's going to push silver's price higher, another silver leading indicator turning bullish as 2023 kicks off. Now, if you look at the 3-month chart, silver is definitely climbing, and it's not looking like it's stopping anytime soon. I mean, look at this. It's not stopping anytime soon, folks. And since we're in a new year now, and since there's so many other factors coming up that looks bullish, if we're already building stability at $22, $23, if that's the bottom, then what's the top going to be? Now, before we jump into this very important video, I did want to shout someone out. This guy, he's one of my OG viewers, and he posted a video, which, by the way, his channel is very, very new. He's only been posting for 4 weeks, already has 107 subscribers, but he made a video shouting me out and just talking about the influence I've had for him, and it's a great video. I really do appreciate it, and I highly recommend this channel. I mean, he's very well spoken. He breaks things down very, very good. He has good quality content, and I really do think you guys will enjoy his content, especially since he's been stacking for 7-8 years. I mean, you know, those Silver Slayer bars came out 7 years ago, and he has like number 11. There's only like a mintage cap of 100 on those, but you know, this is someone who has a lot of potential. He's another fellow stacker, one of us, and I wanted to, I wanted to help him out because for only 4 weeks posting and you already have 107 subscribers without my help, you know, he got that on his own. That shows his content is very good, and I really do think you're going to enjoy it. I'll post a link in the description and the pinned comment. But regardless, let's look at this. Another silver leading indicator turning bullish as 2023 kicks off. Now remember, we just went over yesterday a video talking about all these other factors that make silver bullish. Now here's another one. Our followers are well aware that we are very bullish for silver in 2023 and beyond, and that's as per our most recent silver forecast. In our detailed silver prediction, we listed 4 leading indicators, one of them being gold, obviously. As the year comes to an end, we want to assess the state of the gold chart and what signal it may send to the silver market. It is imperative to work top-down when charting a market or an opportunity. When it comes to the gold market, we use the longest time frame in our gold forecast, which is the quarterly chart. As mentioned, a really large cup and handle formation was in the making. In this short post, we highlight an up-to-date quarterly gold chart with closing prices of December 29th, 2022. So there's only really one important thing that stands out on the longest time frame of this gold chart, the rejection. It is a major rejection, and let's see our annotation, which is the small circle. which you'll see down here. A rejection is a chart event that is characterized by two equally large candles, though in the opposite direction. Moreover, the longer the time frame, the more significant a chart event, any chart event. They're giving this chart, they're giving the analysis some of the more technical stuff that a lot of us probably don't even really care about, but they're also incorporating this from an outside perspective. So it's kind of saying, this is what's happening with the candlesticks and all that, but including and involving the other variables in the outside, even economically, this is all looking very, very good for silver. If we apply this principle to the quarterly gold chart, we conclude that spot gold spent the second half of 2022 working on a major rejection. It started moving lower, but after one quarter, price went the opposite way, only to close at a similar price point as the previous quarter. What this really means is that gold is refusing to break down. Its intention at this very point in time is to continue working on the cup and handle formation. This is great news for silver investors. This is amazing news for silver investors. All leading indicators are now supportive of the silver bull run we anticipate. If everything is lined up for something to happen, you might start taking it seriously, is what we conclude. And that's a really good point. I think that people need silver's price to start rising for them to really have faith in it. True silver stackers don't need that, right? People like you and I, whether silver's $11 like it was in March of 2020 when I was telling everyone I'm buying lots of silver right now and you should too, when nobody else was trying to touch it with a 10-foot pole, when it was $11 because silver's down so bad. The gold to silver ratio is 125 to 1. Silver's a terrible investment while it's $11. And I'm sitting here like, if you really think $11 is too pricey for an ounce of silver, I don't know what to tell you. Even if you think $30 is too pricey for an ounce of silver. Regardless, though, silver's $11. We knew that there was going to be a huge correction because gold was, the all-time highest it's ever been. So we knew the ratio had to correct, meaning silver would start outperforming gold for the ratio to go back downwards. So we knew it was going to go back up. For some reason, people buy high and sell low. It's supposed to be buy low, sell high. Buy the dips, sell the tops. When silver's $11, that's a perfect entry point. But nobody touched it. And what happened after that? It went from $11 up to $30. Silver was the number one performing asset in 2020. Outperformed gold, everything. Silver was $11 in March of 2020, and it still came back to be the number one performing asset. Think about that. But anyways, people need that validation. They need that confirmation that silver can go up. True silver stackers don't need that. We know it's going to go up. But that's what they mean, though, is, you might start taking it seriously when everything starts, when the ball gets rolling. And I apply that to all the other lingerers, the people that kind of hop on Bitcoin when it's rising, and then they'll, hop into, Tesla stocks or whatever, those types of people. They kind of just follow everything, but they're a step behind, and that's why they always lose money. Because they're not getting in before the curve. They're getting in while the curve is happening, and that's too late. That's too late. That's too late. You got to get in before. When most people are buying, you should be selling. When most people are selling, you should be buying. Just do the opposite of what the normal person does, and you'll be good. Because everyone, most people, they invest terribly. And that's because they're investing off of emotion. So anyways, look at this chart. Let's break this chart down. Let's look at the all-time. Let's see how back. Okay, so yeah, this goes all the way back to 1991, which obviously it's not too far back, but it's far enough, I guess. I wish it would go back to 1980. Let's see if it even. Oh, it does. Wait, let's see. No, it doesn't. Not on this chart, but actually, let's see. Let's see something. Let's go a all-time silver chart. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Exactly what I was looking for. So, right now, silver is at $24.06. All-time high is $49.45. All-time low is $1.27. So, something happened here and something happened here. Both times silver was around $50. 1980, this was the Hunt brothers. But do you see how it went straight up? That's why it crashed so hard. There was no price stability, no price discovery. Extreme overbought territory. Everyone's just buying. That's overbought territory. It needs to go up a little bit, down a little bit, up a little more, down a little more. Well, right here, this is the Hunt brothers cornering the market. Basically, these three brothers, billionaires, bought. They owned, some say, up to 77% of the entire silver supply in the world. Tried to turn it in for physical delivery, and obviously the government wasn't going to let that happen, so they banned silver. But regardless, you see, that happened. Silver basically got banned on the Comex, Silver Rule 7, so it crashed. Then we see nothing, and that's because it was such an extreme price spike. It takes years to recover. Then in 2011, right, it starts from 2008, credit financial crisis, right, recession/depression, $1 billion stimulus, pushes it up to around $50 silver, or like 40 something, 45 or whatever. But now we got, and this is, let's look at 2020, recession/depression, credit financial crisis, just like here in 2008. You see, $1 trillion stimulus, a global situation happening, a war. But do you see, can I zoom in closer? Yeah, I can. So let's go to like the 6th. So do you see how it's building stability? This is what we want. We want it to slowly build, not just skyrocket. That's actually good for the price. So like Ted Butler actually says this once. He goes, think of the highest price of silver you possibly can and multiply that times 10, and that's what silver's price is going to be, or whatever, something like that. $500 silver is realistic, and that's because of where the dollar stands. The dollar has lost 98% of its original purchasing power. We're $30 trillion in debt. And if you do the 250 to 1 ratio, it is actually much higher than $1,000 or $500. See, I want to break it down like this. And this is why I want you guys in the comment section to let me know if you think $500 silver is realistic. So a lot of people would go off the gold to silver ratio. This is the ratio I would go off of, but we'll break down the 250 to 1 ratio because that talks about $5,000 silver, not 500. And yes, you heard me correctly. So the gold to silver ratio, historically, it's around 16 to 1. It used to be in like biblical times, 2.5 to 1, 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. Then it was 8 to 1 because that's the ratio it comes out of the ground. But then for thousands of years, it was 16 to 1 until 1930. FDR got in office and changed it from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1, right? Because obviously the Executive Order 6102, where he told everyone to turn in your gold. It's illegal to own gold. So let's look at this. So if gold is $2,000 and we divide that by 16 because that's the ratio, the gold to silver ratio naturally going back down, that would be $125 silver. But let's look at the ratio coming out of the Earth's crust, which is around 7 to 1. So let's do $2,000 gold divided by 7. That's $285 silver. That's very realistic, especially since silver is so scarce and gold isn't scarce. And as we head into this new green era, that's just going off of, the gold to silver ratio, but also incorporating the dollar collapsing. What about the Comex? That's the biggest thing. And that's why back in 1980, that's what happened. The Hunt brothers bought all the silver on the Comex, and the Comex was about to get exposed. The government wasn't going to let that happen, so they banned silver. But while the Hunt brothers were owning all this silver, that pushed the price up because they owned all the silver contracts on the Comex, turned them in. That almost exposed the Comex, and the Comex is already starting to get exposed again. I mean, look, a London vault, LBMA, Comex, and LME vaults are near empty, and there's already signs of the Comex not really having all the silver. I mean, obviously, there's not all that silver, and they're saying that every ounce of silver that you own physically, 250 other people theoretically own that same ounce. So we can go the 250 to 1 ratio. That's why they say that ratio, 250 to 1. So what they do is 250 times spot price, because that's how much actual silver is going around for price discovery. So 250 times, we'll say like 30. That's $7,500 silver. Now they use $20 an ounce, and that's $5,000, 250 times 20. But regardless, if silver now, and this is the thing, is that's what it truly should be without the Comex, the facade that the Comex puts on, where the digital market and the physical market are essentially the same. When that's not the truth. There's not that much silver going around that they show on the screen, and that's why I always say, if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Regardless, though, something's going to be happening soon where silver's true price is going to be exposed, whether that's the fundamentals, which is supply and demand, whether that's the dollar, whether that's, people losing faith in the financial system, whether that's the BRICS nations coming in and creating this new digital currency backed by physical commodities, which in return, right, kicks the U.S. dollar off the world's reserve currency, which would also in return affect prices of precious metals, especially since gold and silver have a direct negative correlation to the dollar index. I mean, there's a lot of different things going on that's all pointing towards it. If you check out my video I made yesterday, it's another very good video talking about China reopening, and since China's one of the largest consumer of silver, what that could do. I mean, there's so many things all pointing towards higher silver prices. So let me know, do you think $500 silver is realistic? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, shout out to Silver and Cigars. Make sure you go check out his video. I'll link it in the description. Very, very, very good video. Great guy. I hope you go subscribe to him, and I hope you enjoy his content. I know you'll enjoy his content. I know you will. I'm positive of that. Anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.